Hi there, this is Molly and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about another asteroid, and it's a very important one, Ceres. Ceres is actually a dwarf planet. She's a little bit bigger than an asteroid, and she has great significance in mythology and in your astrology chart around motherhood, mothering, parenting, being a parent, and not only what those responsibilities are, but the ways that parenting change you, the ways that being responsible for another being changes you, as well as the emotional process of parenting, of motherhood, of nurturing, and understanding that as a parent, you are responsible for your child, and then you must let them go. Now, Ceres is this symbol here, the sickle. It's known for harvesting, and you could think of it as the tool that's used to harvest wheat. Ceres is connected with fertility, the harvest, abundance, the cycles of growth, how agriculture grows, the ways that our seasons change. All of this is about the bigger overarching themes of Ceres, which involves the process of experiencing life, detaching from it, and letting it become its own person. Now, Ceres is a strong character in mythology, as she was the mother of Persephone. Now, Persephone was kidnapped by Hades and taken into the Underworld. And when Ceres lost her daughter, Persephone, she grieved. She grieved deeply, as any parent would. She thought that her daughter was gone for good. She went through a deep emotional process around that loss. And because Ceres is associated with the harvest, and with the bounty of the agricultural goods across all realms, that's the fruits, the vegetables, grains, everything. After Persephone was abducted, Ceres decided there would be no more abundance on the planet until her daughter was returned. So Ceres is actually about how we move through the seasons of the year, of when we plant the seeds to the harvest, to pulling out the harvest, to benefiting from what has grown, and then the earth becomes barren again. And this barren energy was associated with Ceres's grief of losing her daughter, and essentially saying, if my daughter's not here, the earth can't be happy. And then her daughter Persephone was returned to the earth, to the light, if you will, from the underworld, and Ceres was happy again. So there's this cycle of energies with Ceres about how, again, we process and move through the renewals. The renewal of energy, the renewal of a cycle, the seasons of a year, the seasons of our lives. So Ceres is about motherhood and what it means to be a mother. Ceres in your chart can represent your own mother, can represent your notions of motherhood, can represent where you are at a soul level in the journey of parenting, what you are learning or experiencing in this lifetime around being a parent. That can involve what you do to take care of children, what you do to take care of yourself, what you do to feel grounded and secure in the cycles of life, especially around raising a child or raising and taking care of something that you love deeply, but you could have that deep fear of losing. Because Ceres lost her daughter, she had to detach from parenting. She had to detach from that role of motherhood and look at what she was learning about herself. So there's a lot of spiritual significance with Ceres when we look at how she represents one of our identities, responsibilities, one of the ways that we are here to understand our themes, again, around either you being a parent or your relationship with your parents. And they're typically related, right? Because there's certain things you learn from your parents that you may catch yourself not wanting to do again, unconscious cycles, unconscious things that you want to shift or change. And giving you some understanding here is Ceres showing you what you're learning in this lifetime about how you care for others. Ceres is traditionally associated with the energy of Virgo and the responsibilities of motherhood in a very practical way. It's also connected with the energies of Cancer. Cancer also being a very nurturing, loving energy. Ceres is about being of service, being productive, because she's connected with the harvest. She is connected with the earth sign energies of what we do realistically to create a place of safety, to create a place that can support and take care of others. She is a supreme mother entity, and it helps to understand that Ceres can give you insights into what you experience through motherhood and through parenting, but also through that component of your own energy that feels like a bigger responsibility, that something feels like it's a service, but I feel it as something that you must tend to, that you must take care of, that you must be aware of on a regular basis. And Ceres shows us where these responsibilities lie as well in our chart. And it reminds us that we're connected to more than what we may understand at first, that we're connected to the whole cycle of transformation. Now, because Ceres lost her daughter Persephone, she is about dying, death, grief, loss. And those feelings, it's interesting. It's like those feelings that even come up when a mother has given birth and that child is no longer in the womb. That child moves out of one's body and becomes a separate entity. It's a detachment, right? And so there's that sense of continual transformation of how do you love something and let it be its own person? How do you give unconditional love? How do you fully support another while letting them be who they are, letting them be their own person, their own energy field? So Ceres gives us insights into how we approach that and into how we are able to also care for ourselves when the child, when Persephone is taken. And so, Ceres can be associated with the loss of a child, miscarriages, anything around the death, the dying, and the grieving process of losing someone or something that you love. And again, I feel like what you can do with that is go to where the soul's growth is and how nothing is ever lost. It changes form, and that even if something in the physical is no longer here and present, you can still feel the energy. You can still have an energetic connection. Ceres experienced the return of her daughter Persephone, but her daughter had changed. Her daughter actually became more powerful. So there's a lot here around how we allow others to transform while loving them for who they are, who they're meant to be, and without encroaching on their own divine path and their own free will. Ceres has that maturity energy when she's in full bloom, when she understands the cycles of life and how we're meant to move through a very interesting journey through parenthood. And she is connected again with the cycles, the seasons, and how there's always renewal. There's always something else that comes forth. And so this could help you understand more about your own energies of transformation and how you approach change. Also how you deal with emotional changes in your world. Ceres is a worker, and she is focused on the harvest in whatever ways that connects with you. She's focused on even tending to something in a way that creates the bounty, that creates the results. So look at her in your chart as an archetype of motherhood, of parenthood, of how you relate to what you care for, how you are able to allow something to become its own entity, its transformation, and it's allowing yourself to remain grounded through the seasons of life, the changes of life, and to know that transformation is a part of our earthly experience. There's a lot written about Ceres, and you can probably find many different articles and books on her journey. And I hope that this has contributed some new information and some new things for you to think about in your own astrological chart. So be sure and check out my playlist here on YouTube that talks about the asteroids and dwarf planets, and I'll be back soon with yet another video for you. Thank you.